Hello, Connective. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Subscribe, comment, and like without smashing anything. And let's get into this energy. This is a collective reading for Leo. Leo, we've already gotten jumpers for your underlying and overlying energies. It's kind of a little interesting. We've got, for your overlying energy, we got one card out of the Akashic deck and one card out of the Universal Law deck. And for the underlying energy, we got one card from the Akashic deck and two cards from the Universal Law deck. So, interestingly enough, a card came out for you that had come out for, had come out a lot actually. So I put it back in the deck as I was trying to get the jumpers, and it came out again, and that was the Willow. So we're going to talk about the Willow. It's your underlying energy for this reading, and we'll talk about what it means and why you need to embody that energy to get through what's going on in your overlying energy. So I would like some more energy oracle cards before we go into that. Okay, yeah. Would like at least one more card. After this, I'll go through it one more time. If I don't get one more card, I'm going to pull two. And we'll go through this energy before we go through these. So, yeah, I would like one more card, please, for Leo. Thank you. I just like to usually finish going through it so I don't cut the cards off. All right. So, oh, we got two. So we got two anyway. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. I'm not even sure how this ties in yet. So let's talk about the overlying energies. So for you, Leo, for the Akashic deck, we have this is the Akashic Tarot. We have Caught in the Ruins, right? Caught in the Ruins is they're in a self-imposed prison. I call it self-imposed because they're surrounded by four walls that it used to be a prison. The bars are there and everything, but there's no ceiling to this prison. They could climb out at any time if they wanted to, right? And the law of emergent evolution, which is also interesting. It's like, almost looks like a hole, like with a bunch of butterflies flying out of it. These cards are really dark and these cards are really light. But the law of emergent evolution says make a new declaration for your life, right? So interesting that we have this self-imposed prison and the law of emergent evolution next to it. But then as we're in this self-imposed prison, we're supposed to embody the energy of the Willow, right? Which is the Two of Forces. And this is like the epitome of strength. It's sometimes it comes off as the strength that a person has. Sometimes it comes off as like the strength, there's the stability in a relationship. For this one, I think that you're the one, I think it's actually coming off as strength. I think that you need to embody the strength to go ahead and get yourself out of this situation with, we also have these two laws. So the law of non-attachment, let go, release, and allow miracles. So I kind of feel like this is pertaining to, like, if your self-imposed prison is about something that someone did to you, this key is telling you that if you let that go, if you let whatever someone did to you go, release the emotions that it caused in you, release the anger or whatever it is, that the disappointment, then and actually allow yourself to forgive, not be attached to a past outcome or a past person that treated you bad, that better things will come. Like this, it says allow miracles, so like actual miracles, right? And then we have the law of cosmic creation. Your thoughts will echo into eternity. So I feel like these energies all go together in the way of, if you want to sit in this self-imposed prison and like continue to tell yourself reasons why you need to be sitting in there, give yourself reasons to keep you in there, then you're going to perpetuate that as your thoughts will echo into eternity. You'll be constantly perpetuating that. If you choose to emerge, then that will be different. But if you do also choose to emerge, you won't be 100% free until you release the things that might have either kept you there, or the reaction, the response of the way you feel about being kept there or keeping yourself there. So forgiveness maybe for you for allowing yourself to let someone else imprison you, and then forgiveness for whoever wanted or tried to imprison you, type of thing, right? So, okay. So we have, let's go with the angels first. I saw another angel. Oh, wow. Okay. Lots going on here, Leo. So first is first chakra, Archangel Michael. So a lot of times, this is our base chakra, our root chakra. A lot of times when the chakras come up, it could be a chakra that's being affected by the situation. We don't know 100% what the situation is, but we definitely have a better idea. We have the Angel of Strength. Obviously, if the Angel of Strength is here, we need to have strength about something. Usually it's because things are not so much fun. We have the Hostilities card here. Let's put it up here. We've been getting envy a lot, hostilities a little bit, so, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say that any one is better than the other, right? We also have the thinking man. We always say it could be a man, could be a woman, right? But usually it's either making a decision, thinking about something, or overthinking about something, right? And then we have the Garden of the Gate. This could literally be pertaining to whether or not we're thinking about leaving a situation. Obviously, we have hostilities here on the table. We're in a self-imposed prison, right? We want to evolve, but we're kind of stuck in something, right? So the Garden and the Gate is her standing next to the gate with the key around her neck. Again, we have this key over here. So keys to abundance, which is actually what this is, and the abundance is outside the gate. She can decide at any time whether or not she wants to leave. And then we'll still get back to that. We have financial constraints. So it's a possibility that we're in a situation, and it's a possibility that we're in this situation alone. There are two people in this prison together. So it could be like both people in a relationship, or this could be like you in a relationship with hostilities. And this is the reason why these things are around you, this financial constraints, and you needing to have strength, and you needing to have strength. Where is she? And then debating whether or not you want to leave, and possibly even overthinking about it because it's messing with your stability. So we have the Goddess of the Moon. So even if we wanted to, we can't see everything. Not everything is being revealed to us at this time. I'm not picking this up as a person. I'm picking this up as the unknown. Some reason why we're either having to go through something, or possibly we might not even know we're going through it. These hostilities could be like, you know, undercover. And then we have the Healer of the Ages. So the Healer of the Ages is basically usually what we're moving towards. And again, if there's hostilities, or we need to get out of, like, away from some obstacle to figure out that we can be this person, then we're gonna keep having struggles until we can actually figure out a way to get out of it. We have these ways. We can embody strength. We can, like, believe. Our thoughts will echo into eternity, and, you know, release the things that might have either put us in this self-imposed prison, or are keeping us there. But in order to do that, if the hostilities are still in our lives, then we have to kind of almost ignore the hostilities. We can't engage with it. And then, of course, we have this financial constraints. We haven't figured out what's going on with that yet, unless it's just that things are less than perfect and it's causing problems. But this is also my Lightworker card. So Leo, you could be a light worker. Let's see what Alice has to say about this. Hostilities and financial constraints. I would love to say that the financial constraints is the hostilities, but you have two separate cards here, so no. Hostilities is most likely coming from a person, or, you know, a person in the relationship, or a person outside the relationship. Because these two people are in prison, I'm thinking maybe it's coming from outside the relationship. Oh, we got 4. But it also could be that the other person in the relationship is bringing the hostilities, and that's why both of them are in prison. So you can't go back to yesterday, be in the present. So again, this is kind of what we're talking about with this, like, law of non-attachment. Let go, release, and allow miracles. We cannot hold on to the things that were coming from this past stuff that we're worried about, because we're just going to drag it into the new thing. The past thing that we're worried about, frankly, is keeping us from healing. It's keeping us in this self-imposed prison, right? And then we have impossible things, working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, fresh perspective. So again, we kind of have to look up to see that we can actually get out of the situation that we're in. But, you know, once we look up, again, we got to believe. We have to believe that we can actually get out. You know, if we believe that we're going to be injured as we try to get out, then that's not going to help us. Having the key is not going to help us at all, because we're not going to go through. We're not going to go out. We're not going to go anywhere, right? We're not going to go up. This one says emergent evolution. It's funny. That denotes up, right? And then we have, I wonder what will happen next, ready to adventure, Precipice of change, pause before action. So this could be some of you, you know you have to climb out, you see, you looked up, you get it, but maybe today is not a good day. Maybe you have to rest up before you can actually like climb out of there kind of thing. You know, I mean, that could almost be, you know, described as these like financial constraints. Like, you know, kind of, you saw it, you see it, you see the hole in the budget, but it's going to take you like a month to recover kind of thing. It might even take 2. It doesn't mean it's not working. If you know something is supposed to recover in a month, but it takes 2 or 3, it doesn't mean it's not working. It just means that it's happening slower than you want it to happen. Again, there could be an unseen reason as to why. And then we have all in the golden afternoon. So inspiration, creative spark, imagination, conception. So this really does seem like almost like the beginning of a plan to climb out kind of thing. It may not necessarily be a plan to climb out. It could be the beginning of anything. There might not need to be a plan to climb out. It might just climb out kind of thing. But there might need to be a plan involved if hostilities is in the picture. If hostilities is in the relationship, then yeah, you know, sitting around and believing impossible things and thinking that things are going to go back to the way they were, you know, as long as you hang around and, you know, do what you always did, it's not necessarily going to be. It's going to keep you in that cage right there. I wonder what will happen next. Precipice for change and pause before action, yes. But I also feel like this is me having to remind you that when you do move forward, you know, again, letting go of stuff, not moving forward with the stuff that you have from the previous thing that you don't want, but to look forward in appreciation or anticipation of what's coming. Like no matter what comes, it's going to be fun kind of thing. And then that way you can not be afraid of stepping forward and not be in too much danger of bringing this stuff with you. I mean, it's still possible. Like if the financial constraints were tied to you for whatever reason and you didn't deal with that, sure, you could bring them in the next situation. But having said that, you know, when you're in the next situation, you see triggers or you see things happening, you can also attempt to heal those things too and make it so that it's different for you this time around, especially if you're with someone who's not like who you were with in the past, right? If you're trying to get away from hostilities and you move away from hostilities, but you still might not be 100% healed, maybe you still believe in impossible things. If you're away from hostilities and you're like with someone else who doesn't like try to get you to believe in impossible things, then you're in less danger of having to deal with hostilities kind of thing. It'll be different to the point where you have to get used to it all over again because you won't know what you necessarily will be in. But again, if you make decisions and move forward like as you moving forward in what's comfortable for you, you're going to bring to you what you want anyway. There's not a whole lot that you have to think about there. And then you have so you have full moon in Pisces, forgive. So again, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about letting go of stuff. This is one of the things that you have to do, like let go of it. Forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. It's so that you don't take stuff into the new relationship and create more situations that you need to forgive. It's better to let it go here so that it doesn't repeat itself, but also so that you don't drag that energy. Just repeating itself, meaning like you haven't learned the lesson, so you keep picking people that do it. But then on top of that, not forgiving drags that energy too, because you're like, I know they're going to do it. I know they're going to do it. And then when they do it, it's like you didn't manifest it when you did. You're always manifesting. So again, could be manifesting financial constraints, could be manifesting the problem in this situation. Light workers have a really strong pull on the energy around them. All they have to do is think about it and they can create it. So they need to understand, like if they're in something, think happy thoughts. Think about the things they want, not what they don't want. So we have forgiveness. There could be a Pisces involved with you, Leo. We also have new moon in Capricorn, step up and lead. So this is my card of if you see what's going on, you see what's wrong, you have to kind of make the move to change the situation. And full moon in Cancer, let your fears dissolve. So there could be a Pisces, a Capricorn, or a Cancer involved with you, Leo, in this particular situation. Again, this hostilities could be inside or outside the relationship. It could be causing the financial constraints, or it could be totally separate from the financial constraints. And we still have the angel of strength. We need this angel on the table, and we still have our root chakra. So it's messing with our stability to the point where we're not even sure if we can leave and like take care of ourselves, hoping someone will let us out. We have to let ourselves out. So I feel the need to mention again that I'm really picking up this card as like stuff that's not known. A lot of times stuff that's not known isn't necessarily hidden. It can be. It could be something that you're not supposed to know yet, because it would either be kind of like scary kind of thing, or like it's kind of like if you knew there was a panther outside of this thing, you wouldn't climb out kind of thing. But sometimes it's not a panther, it's a kitten. It's just kind of like that. But we don't necessarily need that bit of information to do what we need to do in some cases, so it could be hidden. It could also be hidden because it hasn't been decided yet. It could be decided upon when you actually decide to climb out, or how you climb out, or who you climb out with kind of thing, or where you go once you climb out, right? What decisions you make, using what tools, whether or not we let go of stuff, you know, how strong we are. Strength on the table twice. And then we have this, our thoughts will echo into eternity. Creation, manifestation. We can't do that with fear. So it's one of those things where once we make all those decisions as we move forward, it depends on what we do that's going to bring about whatever it is that's waiting, that's cooking, that's waiting to be decided. A lot of times that's what it is. Either the circumstances haven't arrived where they need to arrive for everything to come together to make the thing happen, or it's based on decisions that haven't been executed yet. It's a possibility that cosmically those decisions could have been made but not executed, and sometimes it takes for the action to actually cause the thing that makes it so that it can be seen kind of thing. The probability, once the action is done, it increases. It's a little bit different than the probability of just thinking about it, right? Just thinking about walking out the gate is a little bit different than walking out the gate and going on a journey, right? The goddess of the moon might not show you everything, and sometimes maybe you just have to look at them, you know, look in different phases. Just look again. I still don't see it, but let me look again and see if I see something different or new. Fresh perspective. I feel like it's on the table. Yeah. When we stop believing in impossible things and start looking at things for how they are, looking at things more than once, maybe in a different mood or in a different, you know, light, right? So that we can see it from a different perspective, so that we can understand it better, maybe even make it easier for to give, easier to forgive, or to be less afraid kind of thing, right? Easier to be able to decide what that action is, because you can see clearly now what's going on to a certain extent, at least as much as you're allowed to see, right? And again, looking forward with enthusiasm and excitement as opposed to fear and regret. And climb out of this thing. You can be upset about how long you spent in it, or you can be happy and appreciative that you're out, grateful, right? If you come out grateful, you're going to manifest the next best thing. If you come out regretful, you're going to be manifesting from a low vibrational place. It's going to look like hostilities to you, and it's going to look like financial constraints. So I'm actually ready to pull the blind spot, Leo. I want to see, hopefully, maybe that goddess of the moon will be like highlighted in the blind spot. That would be lovely. If not, it could just be that certain things are going to remain hidden for now, but we can get a glimpse of maybe something that's holding us back or getting in the way, or maybe something that the hostilities is like providing or perpetuating, that is making the situation harder to deal with. So we're going to go over to the extended in a minute. The link will be in the description, but I just want to let you know, Leo, if you're not coming to the extended with us, that this Lightworker card is still on the table, and this is still you. So regardless of what else is going on or what you're going through, you know, that strength, you're always going to need it. I mean, you already have it. It's on the table twice. This is your, you know, underlying energy, and then you have the angel of strength on the table. So regardless, you already are coming with the strength. I think it's part of, you know, sometimes just being in the situation, because a lot of times as light workers we tend to stand out because we're different. So it's one of those things where, you know, if you've allowed somebody to put you into prison because of something that has something to do with that, just remember to forgive. Don't carry that stuff with you. Understand that strength is letting it go, and then speaking what you want into your creation as you're trying to evolve. So And also pay attention to your root chakra. You might need to do something with your root chakra. So Leo, if this is your reading, meet us over at the Extended. We're going to pull the blind spot and some other cards, see if we can get some insight on what's going on here. And if not, until we meet again,